The looming specter of AI-driven automation is casting a shadow over the future of work, particularly for one segment of the labor force. As technology advances, the risk of a jobless recovery is on the rise, threatening to reshape the employment landscape in ways that could be particularly challenging for white-collar knowledge workers. This group, comprising 45% of the U.S. workforce, is at the epicenter of a potential economic storm. According to insights from JPMorgan Chase Co., the term jobless recovery refers to a scenario where economic growth resumes, but job creation lags behind, leaving many workers on the sidelines. This phenomenon is not new, but the integration of AI into the economy is expected to exacerbate its effects, particularly for those in non-routine cognitive occupations. These are the office workers, the thinkers, and the problem solvers who have traditionally been insulated from the waves of automation that have swept through more routine and manual jobs. But here's where it gets controversial. JPMorgan's senior U.S. economist, Murat Toski, posits that AI is not just a threat to blue-collar jobs, but is poised to replace a significant portion of white-collar knowledge workers. This could lead to a dismal job market downturn, where the risk of unemployment for these workers is structurally higher and growth in their sector remains sluggish. The implications for the broader economy are significant, given the substantial role these workers play in household employment. And this is the part most people miss. The potential impact of AI on the job market isn't just theoretical. There are early signs that the trend is already playing out, particularly for entry-level workers. The rising jobless rate among recent college graduates is linked to the growing hype around AI, suggesting that the future of work is already being reshaped by technological advancements. The shift could pose a significant risk to the overall economy, with the potential for a much larger unemployment risk and anemic recovery prospects for these workers. This could result in a labor market downturn that looks particularly bleak. Policymakers may need to consider significant monetary easing or economic stimulus to help workers adjust to the changing job market. The idea that AI could be taking away white-collar jobs has been on Wall Street's radar for some time, but the reality is beginning to unfold. The share of unemployment accounted for by non-routine cognitive workers has already surpassed that of routine workers in recent years, according to JPMorgan's analysis. This is a stark contrast to the past, where routine cognitive and manual occupations have already experienced a jobless recovery. Over the last 4 decades, the percentage of workers in routine jobs has dropped from around 55% to 40%, based on Labor Department data analyzed by JPMorgan. While the impact of AI on employment figures hasn't significantly materialized yet, with the overall unemployment rate remaining near historic lows, the pressures on white-collar knowledge workers are expected to build over time. The cyclical behavior of disappearing routine jobs is pronounced, with recessions over the past 4 decades taking increasingly longer to recover from job losses in routine occupations. Although there isn't an imminent downturn in the labor market, the risks are higher than they were a month ago. Recent signs of weakening in the job market, with fewer jobs added than expected and downward revisions to job gains, suggest that the future of work is at a critical juncture. As we stand on the precipice of this AI-driven transformation, the question remains, are we prepared for the potential consequences? Will policymakers and businesses adapt swiftly enough to mitigate the risks and capitalize on the opportunities? And what role will the individual worker play in navigating this new landscape? These are questions that demand thoughtful consideration and proactive planning, lest we find ourselves caught in the undertow of a jobless recovery.